reminds me. I'm going to. Can you shoot me that link so that I can?
What, the YouTube link?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get as soon as it pops up. Here it is. I'm sharing. Going to Facebook. Going to pre-show announcements. Hitting send. So we're also gonna tell Erica. We'll tell Marsh. Dr. Lou. Adian. Eugene.
Many of those people are in pre-show announcements, I believe, aren't they?
No, I don't think any of them are. Billy is. We'll send him one anyway.
I think Erica is.
Oh yeah, Erica is, but she doesn't pay attention. She shut that off. Guarantee it.
I was a little surprised when you popped that other one up today.
Why is that?
I hadn't seen it since I used it that one time, and
Oh yeah.
then it came.
Well,
actually, I had seen it since I used it that one time because I saw it when she
guarantee it.
bailed out.
All right. Yeah, we're broadcasting. I get it.
Pop that other one up today.
I'm just spamming people now. Honestly, I don't even know half these people.
Oh God.
Erica just said, "Really, guaranteed?"
Oh.
Ooh, I'm ecstatic. There are actually colors in my Gushers package.
You had to go and piss off your Puerto Rican wife.
She gonna cut
we are
you.
live streaming there, Mike, and you're the one that keeps me out of trouble. Don't forget that these are the rules. These are the rules. All right. We're getting ready to start. I just spammed a whole bunch of people. I think I'm gonna spam some more people now. Someone told me to fuck off.
Yeah, it's your wife. Apparently, she was a little upset that you think that she wasn't paying attention to us in the post there. That's why I said you had to go and piss off your Puerto Rican wife.
Oh man. Well, it was also after it's froze. She's saying that we're frozen. So I don't know.
We should be unfroze by
Let it go. Let it go. No, sorry.
All right. Oh. It's froze. She's saying it's frozen. No, it seems that we're working just fine.
Let it go. Let it go. There's me singing. Don't let that happen anymore.
And Erica is in the live chat. So the live chat's open. Hey, for funsies, Mike, you want to open up the phone line in the first block?
Already there.
All right. We don't usually open up a clicking fucking noise. Oh wait, I think it's because of this.
Fucking sound coming from.
God damn it.
Answer the phone.
Who's at the door, Maisie?
Oh Christ, I'm just hearing shit. No, when I can't run a charger on both the sound card and the Apple device at the same time, or and the Apple device is fully charged. Not the Apple device, the sound card is fully charged. All right, so we're live streaming on YouTube. We've got 2 people watching. I think one of them is me. So that's really exciting for all of us. I just disliked us to see what would happen.
Wow.
Let's go into messages. I'm gonna spam some people and I'm gonna spam some people like directly. I'm gonna hit up Lewis Nelson from the Lewis Nelson report. And let's see. Where's that Matty boy? Spam him. All right. How close are we to starting, guys?
Whenever you're ready.
Well, we're broadcasting, you're recording. Broadcasting, live streaming. We're broadcasting live on YouTube.
Yeah, I do know what you should be ending up on this, the 114th episode of the Media Virus Podcast, right? That's
You
the
ready,
last.
Pete?
That's the end of your segment, so that I can run the music.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Well, you don't have the theme song. I do.
You have the theme song.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's gonna run the theme song when you're done reading.
you're gonna do the part I
Gotcha.
usually do.
All right.
Gotcha. Here we go.
Awesome. All right.
This week on the Media Virus Podcast, in addition to all of the documents that were located when a warrant was served at Mar-a-Lago last year, the Department of Justice is also reviewing a small number of documents that were surrendered to the National Archive when they were located while moving out of an office that Biden occupied until he began campaigning for the 2020 presidential election. Why aren't more people saying, wow, they're all full of shit? Let's see. A Wells Fargo exec has been arrested and lost his job after he peed on a fellow airline passenger mid-flight. And crafty, lying cops now admit that the surviving roommate in the Idaho student killings saw the killer roaming about the apartment dressed in black, but stayed quiet. All this, advice from the 30 and over set for the newly 18 crowd, more news, Maddie's TikTok nonsense corner, and just the tips on this, the 114th episode of the Media Virus Podcast.
It's the Media Virus Podcast. Let's point and laugh at the world burning around us with executive producer Mike Latoris. We're going to start over. BBC correspondent Stanley McFadden.
Makes me tingly in an unfamiliar way.
Grease Monkey Pete.
Damn, Big Daddy.
Here's the thing about the Media Virus Podcast. It's really well done.
And now, spreading the sage nihilism of an aged Gen Xer, your host and mine, the star of our show, the incomparable Maddie Rockdeath.
Hot damn. Do we have a show for you people this week? I am Maddie Rockdeath. Please welcome to the Media Virus Podcast. Thank you for checking us out. If you like what you see, please like, follow, subscribe, share. Please share us up. We'd really appreciate it. We work hard at this, not as hard as we should. Well, Mike can't do anymore, but I don't do that much. Now, speaking of the Reverend and Professor Mike Latoris, he is battling COVID-19, and we are about neck and neck at this point at refusing to not show up.
Yeah. I felt
you
so
know.
bad on Monday. I didn't think I was going to make it tonight.
Yeah, and that scared the hell out, dude. For you to say that on Monday morning, that you feel so bad that you don't think you're going to be able to, like, I think you might be going into the hospital. I think you might be.
Hair hurt on
Yeah,
Monday.
I was.
I was
I don't know anything about that, Mike.
before I reached out to you. I looked at my wife. I said, I don't know if I can do the show this week. She said,
I also think you probably thought that the show was the next day.
Yeah, I did. I had lost
You-
my sense of time
Because of well, I think what it is I've been doing, like, dude, it's
I was
so
in
tough
review.
because I've worked 3 days and now, like, we haven't had a Monday in 2 weeks. And this is your first Monday back and you're feeling horrible. So you're thinking, oh shit, I got to do the show in 2 days because every other time you've had to get up and go to work, you've had to do the show in 2 days. That's how my entire life is based on the weekend and the show. Because the weekend, like, the show is kind of like halfway.
right.
And the halfway has been a little bit shorter for the past 2 weeks. And
For me, it was more like Sunday night into Monday became a really hard to fathom fever dream.
wow.
Like that kind of fever where you fall asleep for 10 minutes and it feels like you've been asleep for 3 hours, and the
Yeah.
night feels like it's getting longer and longer and longer. Yeah, I had woken up from one of those, and I knew the show had to be getting close.
No, I completely get that. But so I've been kind of I've been in panic mode because I'm like, okay, if he doesn't do the show, like if he's so sick he can't even run a computer, then the show is just going to have to be like your basic podcast format. Me and Pete are going to talk. Maybe I'll try to find a third to volley. But there's not going to be any sound effects. There's not going to be any intro. There's not going to be, any of the, well, we have these. I forget often. I mean, both me and Pete, we have, yeah. You give it up for me and Pete. That's right. We have, sound effects, so we can put on a little bit of a show. Yeah. See, Pete's just firing at me. I was trying to take care of a lot of things today. So I neglected to see what the first story was, to twist my story into a segue. So Pete, what's the first story up there, guy?
First story up today is in USA Today. The Department of Justice is reviewing classified documents found at Biden facility from time as VP. It says the Justice Department is reviewing a number of classified documents recovered last fall in a storage closet connected to an office used by President Joe Biden prior to his presidential campaign. The White House confirmed this Monday. Now, the undisclosed number of records were discovered November 2nd by Biden's personal attorneys in a locked closet as they were preparing to vacate a Washington, D.C. office space known as the Penn Biden Center, used by the then former vice president from 2017 until the launch of the 2020 presidential campaign. Richard Sauber, a special counsel to the president, said the documents were immediately turned over to the National Archives. And it says, since that time, Sauber said Biden's personal attorneys have been cooperating with the National Archives and a Justice Department review headed by the U.S. Attorney in Chicago.
You see, it's weird. You know what I find weird about this whole thing? This is what I find weird.
That we're hearing about this like 3 days after the Republicans took control of the Congress.
Right. Had this information come out, because this is all from when Biden was vice president.
Right.
So had all this information come out first before this Trump bullshit, right?
But it couldn't have, because the documents weren't located until November 2nd of 22 when they were moving out. It's an after the fact find.
Oh my God, we have so many new comments in the YouTube chat. I don't know I am not monitoring YouTube at the moment. But I was looking at it. Yeah, take a peek at that, Pete. Thanks. I was looking at this news article, and I was talking with staff writer Bill about it, and I was actually looking for, because staff writer Bill had the best comment. I sent him a news story, and it's the Biden surprised at document discovery, says he doesn't know what was in them. Okay, and staff writer Bill replied, "He's just an old man who lost his keys, but those keys go to the nuclear weapons, not his car in the driveway."
And not for nothing, I the first thing I did was look to see, okay, if we're gonna say, if we're looking at this and saying, okay, here's a thing, it's he had some too. How are we doing that? Is it just we found some stuff? What's the timing? And the bottom line here is, what we should be saying is they're all assholes.
They're all
assholes.
Right, because the thing is,
it's not, oh well, your guy had them too, so ours is better. Don't even bring that up, because they're all assholes. They all had some documents. The thing is that there's a difference between saying, oh shit, we weren't supposed to have these, we better turn them over, than there is saying, fuck you, you can't come to my house and get them. fuck you. You can't come to my house and get them. And then whatever.
I mean,
The
I
bottom line
like
is-
it. I prefer a dude that says "fuck you." You can't come to my house and get them.
Well, I mean,
That's just my style. I like. There's a thing I appreciate.
but if
about
you're
different people.
operating above board, you should at least say, you want them? Here they are. I've packed them up. Here's the box.
Along with a box, a whole bunch of other shit. You figure out what's important.
Yeah, and I also found Bill Clinton's fucking
Blowjob
jack-off
stains.
sleeve. Yeah,
Right.
blowjob stains, jack off sleeve, whatever you want. But you know,
I mean, yeah, dude, it's just all ridiculous. So yeah, it's a whole bunch of bullshit where old men forgot they had shit. Okay, great. So what was I think in my opinion, we've already spent too much time on it.
agreed.
But is there more to that article, Pete?
There's more to that article. I mean, if you guys want to hear it,
Well, I don't think I know. Let's move on.
we can move on. What are we moving on to?
That
Oh,
would be the
yeah,
next story.
the next story. Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome.
I'm trying to make my equipment work over here. It says next one is the Wells Fargo executive fired, arrested after allegedly peeing on woman aboard flight to India.
You know,
in
when you see a bank executive get arrested, you assume it's like embezzlement or insider trading. No, he straight up, and I thought he pissed on a stewardess. He just pissed on some old woman.
No, you just stand up and pee on somebody on the plane with
He
you.
was like, "Oh, would you like to see my R. Kelly impression?"
I do a mean R. Kelly.
yeah, all I can picture is Abu.
All right, well let's
Help.
get
right.
into that story. Let's hear it.
So the article in New Delhi, Indian police have arrested an unruly airline passenger following a complaint by a woman aboard an Air India flight from New York that he urinated on her in business class. Shankar Mishra was picked up by
you expect
police.
that kind of thing in coach, but not business class.
Sure.
Yeah, you know what I mean, maybe like the subway, you're getting pissed on.
Well, yeah.
It's like the higher up you go, is
there even enough room on like a plane to do this?
Apparently, but it's kind of like the higher up you go, the less likely you are to get pissed on. Like the subway is a guarantee that you're at least getting pissed on the bottom of your shoes. Maybe not directly.
I don't know. I got pissed on by a CT machine today, but
no, I'm talking
not
like
the same.
No. That reminds me, dude, I walk into the bathroom at my job today and there's, they got those full length urinals and I'm using it. And I'm looking, it's just a bare drain. Just there's a bare drain and once in a while, flies will come out of the drain. It's a weird, and I like to sometimes make a little game of it where I try to push them I try to hit them and get them to go down.
Trying to drown the flies.
Yeah, and then flush it, and then flush it, and then flush it, and then flush, and then flush, and you just drown it, But the goal is to get it into the drain. But I look over, and I got a picture of this. It's not that important, but I look over, and there are, the urinal cakes.
Right.
There are 2 urinal cakes sitting atop the plumbing under the sink where you wash your hands. So somebody said to somebody, put these in the bathroom, and that's where they put them, and not in the urinal.
Sounds to me like they handed them to a woman.
More than likely. That's.
I mean,
I guess.
I mean, is urinal cake theft like a concern? Like maybe that's why they put them there.
There is a sign that says donate the urinal cake.
But it doesn't say anything about stealing.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Speaking of stealing and the police and stuff, and let's go back to the article. Shankar Mishra was picked up by the police in the southern city of Bengaluru and brought to the Indian capital on Saturday. New Delhi police spokesperson Suman Nalva said on Sunday. Nalva declined to say that Mishra told investigators after his arrest. Times of India newspaper cited. I'm sorry, let me reread that. Nalva declined to say that Mishra told investigators after his arrest. The Times of India newspaper cited Mishra as saying that he was drunk and could not believe what he had done.
I
You
was
couldn't,
drunk
like-
I was drunk at the time, and I really don't believe that I had done that.
A New Delhi court sent him to prison for 14 days as police investigate the complaint accusing Mishra of outraging the modesty of a woman during the New York-New Delhi flight. If convicted, he faces up to 3 years in prison.
He has outraged my modesty.
Yeah, what? Like, where do they get this
Fuck.
this phrase? Outraged her modesty.
Sick with COVID-19. Man, still pulls off an Indian accent perfectly. Oh my God. And Pete,
I'm nervous as
Compliment-
hell over here trying to live up to him.
now I'm going to compliment you on taking my interruption of urinal cake, taking turn into stealing the urinal cakes, and then, well, speaking of police activity, going right back into the story. I'm not letting that go without kudos, Pete. Kudos.
I think you guys chose this article to make you read all these crazy names.
I like how he made the top 3 teaser, the let's piss on Biden, and then a top 3 teaser.
that was beautiful. But let me get back to the names. Maddie. I'm going to squash you right here. Shugata Bhattacharjee.
Out of the
I think I
park.
said, I think
You
I
nailed
said
it.
that right. I
You
think I
nailed
said
it.
it right. Another passenger on the flight told reporters he saw Mishra consuming excessive liquor and that Mishra was talking incoherently, asking him the same question about his family several times. Let's see, continuing on. Also Saturday, Air India issued written notices and grounded 1 pilot and 4 cabin crew as the incident triggered outrage on social media and among activists who said that banning Mishra from flying for 30 days was not enough.
I saw him consuming many beverages and acting and talking incoherently. He asked me the same question about my family several times.
Well, he's also the vice president of Wells Fargo. You know what I mean? So, like, he might legitimately lose his job over
No,
this.
I'm pretty sure he's going to.
And I wish him the best. I think we're going to see the opposite of a rags to riches story. We're about to see a riches to rags story. I don't think he's going to.
I don't think you get a golden parachute for the golden shower.
On that note, let's move on.
Moving
What's
on.
the next story, Pete?
The next story we have for all you folks is the crafty sons of bitches. What we got? The roommate who survived Idaho student killings saw a figure dressed in black clothing and a mask. The affidavit says. We go on here. It's from CNN. One of the 2 roommates who survived the fatal November stabbings of 4 University of Idaho students told investigators she saw a masked man dressed in black in the house the morning of the attack, according to a probable cause affidavit released Thursday in prosecutor's case against suspect Brian Koberger. The roommate, identified in the document as DM, said she heard crying in the house the morning of the killings and heard a male voice say, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." DM said she then saw a figure clad in black clothing and a mask that covered the person's mouth and nose walking towards her. The affidavit says DM described the figure as 5'10" or taller, male, not very muscular, but athletically built with bushy eyebrows. The affidavit says the male walked past DM as she stood in a frozen shock phase. The male walked.
Can you imagine that, dude? Dude, seriously, like someone's wandering in your house, just killing everybody in there, and they just forget about you. Like, what was the? Like, was she in there? Did she get stabbed? Like, does it, Mike? Do you know
No.
anything about this?
Yeah, well, from the beginning, they had mentioned that there was somebody else that lived in the house that didn't know all of that happened. That apparently
Oh,
slept
wow.
through it. The cops made it seem as though this person slept through or wasn't there when this happened because they didn't know enough that they wanted to protect this person. They didn't want somebody coming back to finish the job off or any of that. And they had apparently enough at that point in the investigation. They had enough information that they kind of knew what was going on and wanted to follow this Koberger dude, but they didn't want to tip him off in any way. So they acted like this person wasn't an issue for him. They basically said, "Oh, they didn't know what."
Well, yeah, that's like straight out of fucking Criminal Minds. It was like, we can't. Oh, this survivor, he didn't know she was there or whatever.
Right.
And
I was interested enough in this to read through like virtually the entire article, and yeah, Mike's pretty right on about they discovered, wait a minute, this guy has another roommate, let's go check him out, and they did a whole bunch of surveillance on him.
Oh yeah, like they apparently were pretty keen on this dude right away. They had enough information in the initial when they initially uh, started the investigation that they could start to draw it back to him. And I don't know how closely anybody's followed the story, but they actually they knew that his dad came out and met him, and they drove back from there to Pennsylvania. They followed him the whole they followed him all the way.
holy shit.
There's particular stops that they made along the way back where they got specific information and used to pick up specific stuff. Like at some point along the way, they made sure that they got some of his trash so that they could do a comparative DNA thing.
I can read a piece of the article here that kind of goes into that whole thing. It said key evidence includes bushy eyebrows and white sedan. The affidavit addresses some questions authorities have so far left unanswered, namely some of the steps used to identify Koberger as a suspect, including the fact his appearance, 6 feet tall and 185 pounds with bushy eyebrows. The document says, citing his driver's license, matches the description provided to investigators by the surviving roommate. The document also leaves key questions unanswered, including how the suspect allegedly entered the home, whether there was any relationship between the suspect and the victims, why the masked man walked past a surviving roommate, and what the alleged motive for the slayings was. Let's go here. Just kind of trying to find this piece of the article because, like I said, I read.
Do we know
this
what
earlier.
the motive? Do we have any idea what the motive was?
Surveillance team worked to obtain the DNA, probably, Pete.
Wait, this was the dude that was like a criminology
there we
student,
go.
and he wanted to know what it was like to be a serial killer.
Probably.
Is that-
If he was a criminology student, he was a very dumb one.
Yeah, he
was like
No,
he was a D student at best.
was at least master's or maybe doctorate level criminology student.
Like, because
Yeah, and C's get degrees, baby.
if you read through this part, the surveillance team worked to obtain DNA. At the scene of the killings, authorities found a tan leather knife sheath laying on the bed next to one of the victims. The FDA released Thursday says on its button snap, the Idaho State Lab would later find a single source of male DNA. This guy didn't clean up at all. Late last month, Pennsylvania law enforcement there
He was a
recovered trash from-
criminology student, for fuck's sake.
Right.
He
Dude, half the reason I don't go on killing sprees is I'm too fucking lazy to clean it up. I like every like you watch Criminal Minds, like this killer's he's organized and meticulous. I'm like, I'm not that. And the dudes that go on spree killers die like within a couple of weeks.
Right, but then you get you get sometimes those tandem partner killers.
Oh yeah. Hey man.
You're more in that vein.
Dude, you're really organized.
No, I'm not.
Okay. Well, if anybody's
It's
really
all an
organized, no wait,
illusion. It's all an illusion.
it's an illusion. All right, what were you saying, Pete? Before I interrupted you.
No, you're good. You're good. No, like I said, it goes on to talk about the surveillance team that was given 2 missions. Once they had him as a suspect, they were given 2 missions, according to multiple law enforcement sources, to keep eyes on Koberger so they could arrest him as soon as a warrant was issued, and to try and obtain an object that would yield a DNA sample from Koberger, which then would be compared to the DNA evidence. The source said in one instance prior to the suspect's arrest, Koberger was observed by authorities leaving his Pennsylvania family home around 4 a.m. and putting garbage bags in the neighbor's garbage
Pete,
bins. Agents were then able to recover the garbage both from Koberger's family trash bins and what was observed being placed into the neighbor's bins. Then on Friday, a Pennsylvania State Police SWAT team moved in on the Koberger family home, breaking down the door, breaking through the windows in what is known as a dynamic entry, a tactic used in rare cases to arrest high-risk suspects. Here, suspect's phone was near victim's house at least 12 times. Additionally, phone records indicate Koberger's phone was near the victim's residence at least 12 times between June of 2022 to the present day. The affidavit says all these concerned occasions, except for one, occurred in the late evening and early morning hours of their respective days. Those records also indicate Koberger's phone was near the scene later that morning between 9:12 a.m. and 9:21 a.m., hours after the killing.
wow.
He just
The commenter, your favorite reject, commented, was it Eugene Levy? Is when you described the bushy eyebrows. I thought that was funny enough to mention.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's definitely funny enough to mention.
Did
Trying to
you see
do-
the first? Did you see the? I'm gonna go completely off the top here. Did you go back to the first comment? Something about not hearing a New Jersey accent saying the opening. I was like, oh.
Oh, his first comment? No, I
Oh
don't
no,
have my
not his
glasses.
first comment. No, the
Dude, I don't
first
have my
comment.
glasses. I'm really at a disadvantage. When we take a quick hiatus, I'm gonna go grab a set of glasses so that I can monitor the YouTube chat. We're gonna do something a little bit different tonight. We usually, kind of shut down on YouTube, and then we record a private session for a little while, and then we go live to Facebook. I think tonight we're just going to keep live streaming. We're just going to, take breaks within the live stream, like individually or whatever.
Okay.
But do we have anything else, or is that? I think that was the 3.
That was our top 3.
That was our top. That was the top 3. So listen, guys, stick around. The phone lines are open. If you want to give us a call at 646-virus-01, we will answer. The phone lines have been open this whole time. We're still live streaming. You can find everything you need to know about the Media Virus at themediavirus.com. You can see our lonely blog, where there will be more. You can also see all of our episodes there. You can see some of our YouTube channel, our podcast. We're recording for a podcast, and we release that podcast wherever you find podcasts. The Media Virus podcast. Am I forgetting anything, Mike?
You can always check us out at themediavirus.com.
I just said that. That was
Okay.
a whole. All right. And shout out to your favorite reject. And
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who that is.
it's
Somebody knows me. I saw somebody drop my initials there. So
terrific. So let's break it here.
Stick around, for advice from 30 to 18, everyday stuff to fear, more news. And later on in the C block, Maddie's TikTok Nonsense Corner.
That's
Yeah.
right.
we're also going to throw in Adjust the Tips later on
Oh.
in the C block.
And Big Daddy should be joining us
little
later on this
JTT
evening.
action.
Yep.
If you want to come on the Media Virus podcast, you can send me an email at Maddie@themediavirus.com.
Yep. Matt is going to handle as much of the booking as he can because he is.
That's what I'm doing.
If
So
you know
let's,
somebody that should be on and you can help us get in touch with them, you can do that too.
Bring it home, Mike.
All right. This has been the Media Virus podcast. A Block will be back right after this. Ladies and gentlemen, Raspberry Tea Bag! And stop.
Chewbacca.
I'm still here. I just put on my video.
Oh, I have my headphones.
Okay. We're not recording anymore.
Oh,
No, I may.
we're not record. Like we're not. He's got to process the audio recording. So this is a
Right. No,
Pete wants to know if it's safe for him to talk.
I want to.
No, we are live streaming.
Oh, we're live streaming. Where'd you go, Maddie? Oh no, you're over there.
I'm right here.
Okay.
I'm just looking at the chat, seeing if anybody.
Did
Anybody
you go
else that
back up? Did you go back up to the first?
Yeah,
Go back
I
up to the
don't.
top of it.
I don't have a New Jersey accent at all. I've worked so hard to be devoid of all accent, unless I really try to force one.
Lewis Nelson of the Nelson Report chimed in. All hail Hustlesworth at my job. This man has made me known as Matty Hustlesworth because when my son worked there, he was Matty Hustle. He called him Matty Hustle. So he calls me Matty Hustlesworth. Hustle. I say I have a New Jersey accent. Hustlesworth. Oh. All right.
All right,
How we doing on B Block, Mike?
almost there. Got to get the new recording set up. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. I guess we're there. All right. Whenever you're ready, Pete.
So you just want me to read this thing?
Well, I usually start off with something, and we're back in the B block.
See, you're the professional at this. I'm just an amateur. So we're back in the B block with a wounded Professor Latoris and good old Matty Rockdeff over there.
I was just looking at some of the people chiming in. Want to shout out to my buddy Johnny. He chimed in, and Lewis Nelson chimed in, and a couple of other folks. Very, very cool. Thank you for checking it. Thank you for checking it out. If you do like this, please share it up. You find everything again at themediavirus.com. What do you got loaded up there, Pete? Or do we have the advice for kids? Or do we have
first article I have? Yeah, is advice for kids. The adults in their 30s are sharing the things they believe every younger person should know, and this is excellent advice. Is the title of this article.
Hey, Mike, can you pop this up on the screen so we can show it?
Yeah, give me just a second.
And I can do some of the reading at the same time now that I've got my glasses. That's why I didn't volunteer.
He found his glasses.
He can't see without his glasses.
Can't see without his glasses.
The
glasses.
Yeah, I've got 20.
Nobody noticed anything like the last couple of weeks. I stopped wearing my glasses. Put my contact lenses in.
Oh my God, Pete! It's like nobody cares. Adults in their 30s and older are sharing the things they believe every younger person should know. And this is excellent advice. Well, we'll be the judge of how excellent this advice is. Let's just jump. I always skip the fucking intro. Fuck the intro. It's okay to take time. It's okay to take your time making decisions. Don't let people rush you into big life choices. Okay, that's terrible advice. That's terrible advice. Sometimes you have to make a decision. There is no rushing anymore. You understand what I'm saying? Like if your decision is to fix the toilet, okay, and the toilet's full of shit, eventually you're gonna have to make that decision. You're gonna get rushed
There-
into it. I fucking guarantee
there
that.
is no time to waste in that
Right,
situation.
exactly. You know, sometimes you just got to make decisions.
The
Don't-
difference could be wet feet or dry feet.
Right.
Ooh,
I mean, there's emergencies arrives, and sometimes, you know, and now, hey, you know what's a big life choice? Pregnancy. You've got a certain amount of time to figure that one out. So yeah, that's terrible fucking advice.
Narrow window.
Don't take your time. You know, there's you give it you got to do your risk reward analysis, and then make a decision. It's that simple. All right, what's the next one? Yeah,
Do
okay.
Stretches and fix your posture because you will not enjoy your spine being dusted by the time you're in your mid-30s.
I
I feel personally attacked.
I didn't make it to my mid 30s. My 30th birthday, dude. I was a healthy man on my 29th year and 364th day. I woke up on my 30th birthday and I feel like I lost the use of my bottom half of my body, and it hurt like hell. So yeah, you know, do stretches, do that. You know, like I'm trying to do all this shit now to repair the damage that I've done of wearing Chuck Taylors. Oh my God. You know what irritates me is Matt's mom used to nag me, like when we were together, this is 27 years ago. She used to nag about me wearing Chuck Taylors. She's like, those are gonna fuck up your back. Those are gonna fuck up your back. Those are gonna fuck. Okay. Yeah, here I am in my 30s. And it's not a happy situation.
I got news for you. It's more than the shoes.
No, I know that. I was a big man. I did a lot of dumb shit by myself. I carried a refrigerator up steps. It's not a good thing to do.
Likewise, I did
Like by
I did
myself,
a lot of
like-
those stupid things.
Like I picked up an 18 cubic foot refrigerator, and so I slid it up the steps. So when I brought it up to the steps, I put it on the steps, I slid it up the steps, and then got it up and put it in place.
Can I tell you guys a little story real quick?
Yeah.
You guys think that's bad? Yeah, 18 cubic foot refrigerator. I remember laying on the floor of my friend's garage underneath his pickup truck, and what was on my chest? The transmission. We couldn't get any sort of device or jack under the truck with us under there
Mm-hmm.
and such to lower the transmission down. No, it was time to bench press a 4-speed or
Fucking
5-speed
transmission.
manual transmission housing and all.
Yeah.
Well, I
know,
think that
off the back.
actually leads us to the next one. Once you get into your 30s, you have enough life experience that you should have learned to make safer bets, mind your own business, and understand what social priorities you have, like going to the club on a Saturday night versus going to the grocery store. But making safer bets, you know, now you know not to put yourself in a situation like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Now
And
I look at a vehicle and I go, yeah, fuck no.
Dude, there are so many things that like I will just immediately go to do, and then think to myself, like, that's a pile of problems.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do it this way.
No,
Number 4. You
I've
got
done the
number 4,
training.
Mike? What's that?
I said I've done the tranny on my chest thing.
Yo, we don't have to give out secrets. We don't know about your sex life, guy.
What you do in the privacy of your bedroom is your business, man.
Your teenage years aren't as important as you think they are. When I was a teenager, it felt like that was a peak adulthood, and every choice was going to haunt me forever. By the time I reached 21, those years suddenly felt long forgotten and insignificant. And I'm here to tell you, you've got a whole new series of things to screw up every year of your life. So
Here's the thing.
years, that's just getting started.
Here's the thing. Let me explain. No, because this is terrible advice too. It's terrible fucking advice. Here's why. There are some decisions that you make in childhood that are going to haunt you forever. Like, you might at 12 decide that you think you want to start smoking.
Yeah.
That's going to haunt you forever.
Yeah.
You might
one
think that
comes
you might think that premarital sex is a fucking fun thing to do. That might
and
haunt
then
you forever.
Uncle Bob sends you a Christmas card every year for the rest of your life.
It's not. It's not.
Wow.
That's so. Yeah, there are some significant things that can happen in your teenage years that you need to be mindful of. It's terrible advice.
Now this one can't be that bad.
Save money, even if it's only a little bit every week. Treat it like a bill and don't touch it. You'll have some money to invest in yourself in a few years' time when you have a better idea of how you want your life to pan out.
This is terrible advice.
No, that's
Here's
probably not
no.
that bad.
No. It was good advice. It was good advice 10 years ago. It was good advice maybe 5 years ago. This is what the advice should be. Go buy a wheelbarrow, and then in a couple of years, you're going to need that wheelbarrow to carry the cash to the store to buy a loaf of fucking bread. Our money is going to be absolutely
dozen eggs
fucking
in today's
valueless.
case.
We are in for one of the hardest times America has ever fucking seen. You have no idea what you're in for. Saving money is futile. Get what you can now. That's the advice that I think everybody should.
I'm going to be getting some chickens, I think.
I can't have chickens in this neighborhood, but I think I'm gonna.
I can't either. So
I'm gonna try. You know what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to set up a rain collection system to set up for my gray water, like flushing the toilet and washing collecting the rain, filter it.
Yeah,
That's not
be
bad.
careful with that. They'll be on your door, like, ready to arrest you in a heartbeat for that
Yeah,
shit.
you can be arrested for that
Nah,
because
I'm coming.
the water's not yours.
I'm gonna have to look into and see
The water
what
that falls from
what
the fucking sky
what the
is
community
mine.
guidelines
No.
are here for chickens.
Not if it falls on county land,
What if it's falling on my land?
which is in the county that you pay taxes to occupy.
It's my fucking water.
No, you don't have the water rights.
I'll fight for it. Listen, I'm publicly announcing that shit. Come and get me.
All right.
That might not have been a good idea. So, what's the next piece of advice?
Anger is healthy and rational in many cases, but it is damaging to live in anger or hate all of the time. That's not that bad. And I think that's probably valid. You need to kind of mitigate and manage your hate. And
Channel. That's what
Yeah.
I say. I say channel your hate and anger into
Here's
things.
the thing. And I'm not going to shit on this too much. But you have to stay angry because you have to stay motivated. But it's the hate. And it's hard to have anger without hate for me. But hate is a corrosive material that destroys the container that carries it. It's just going to destroy you from the inside. It's going to give you an ulcer. It's going to destroy your body. It's stress on you, and it's not worth it. And that's where I've really, and this several years ago, where I've come to this conclusion that hatefulness is not the way you should live your life.
Right.
So, and that's, decent advice, but we should move on, I guess.
All right. Anything worth doing is worth half-assing.
What?
Anything worth doing is worth half-assing. So what they mean by this is going to the gym for 10 minutes is better than not going at all. Kind of like learning a language is better than not learning a language at all.
Brushing your teeth for 30 seconds is better than not brushing at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So half-ass things to start the good habits and then keep doing the stuff that works.
In all honesty, man, that's literally how we started this podcast. We are on episode 114. We don't set the world on fire. But it's just every week we get together and we do this and we prep for it. We come up with these. What do we want to talk about this week? This is what we've done this week. Okay,
It's a quality
Uh,
product.
and then we try to put out a decent show for people to hopefully get their grubby little hands into and enjoy, and join in. There is a chat. Pete, are you taking a look at any of the?
Yeah, I'm taking a peek at it right now. Doing four
'Cause,
things at once.
You try to head back in between things there.
What's going on here?
I don't know. I'm looking.
What's Mike doing?
I stopped to look back in the chat. Sorry.
Oh,
I was doing my own thing.
oh, I don't.
You said, "Hey, have you been looking at the chat?" So I did.
I was talking to Pete though.
I'm sorry.
Well, I
That's
thought
all
about it I looked at it for a second and then I said, fuck it.
Try
Well,
to
there's
build-
people in there.
So let's see, number 8. Let's try to build a dynamic.
But you just said if you're gonna at least half-ass it.
Right. At least half-ass it. You're doing a great
do
job
it.
at half-assing it, Pete. Trust me.
No, I'm trying.
Try to
not
build dynamic relationships with your parents. Utilize their resources as much as you can, but please think independently and make your own decisions and don't follow their advice blindly.
Huh.
I like how it's utilize their resources as much as you can. Like, how about
Yeah,
you go out and
that's a
fucking do it
to-
yourself?
That's a totally millennial thing to say. Hey, leech off your parents, but don't listen to them.
bleed your parents dry, but tell them shut
I mean-
the fuck up.
Listen, I've always tried to be independent. I've failed many times and had to go back to my parents. There's no, not go back, but turn to them for emergencies. But try not to I think is a better. Just go out and do it. Chronic
I
bad
was
luck.
on board with that dynamic relationship with your parents thing because I'm
Yes.
a firm believer in the thought process that once you're grown, you have to decide whether you want to have an adult relationship with your parents or not. Like,
Right.
do you want to know them as an adult and continue the relationship? And it's an active decision, and there's things from childhood you just have to leave behind, walk away, and come back. So I was on board there, and then it's like utilize their resources as much as you can. Like, wait a minute, that's not what I was thinking.
It's funny because it's one of those things, man, where when you have a kid, like my first kid, I was 19, and after about 3 or 4 years, like I really started to see like my parents, like a different perspective
Right.
on what you expect like what you want from a child and not what you want from a child, but what you, what your love and your protection and everything that you want to do and where the yelling comes from.
Well, yeah.
Where the yelling, and that was important, is that I learned where the yelling comes from. And then it really wasn't until I didn't really understand my father until my second child. And then, him being different than the rest of than most kids.
Right.
Much like I was, not in the same extreme, but much like I was. And I got to understand my father's relationship with me compared to my father's relationship with my brother, my older brother. And so it's one of those things where you're you want to build a friendship
Yes.
with with your parents that is independent of your needs. Like you want to need nothing from them. When you get older, you want to add value to them. Is you want to add value to
Yeah.
to their lot in life, whether it's they have somebody that shows up once in a while. I mean, right now, that's the best I can do for my parents is just be somebody that shows up, like try to once a week. I've been very lax just because of Christmas, but she's had COVID, and this type of thing. So, but moving on. Number 9, chronic bad luck. Pile of trash in your car you've been meaning to clean up, but never have the chance. You've been meaning to donate a bag of clothes, but it sits in your closet. Lots of parking tickets and late fees, always late for appointments. Folks, I'm getting hurt here, man. This isn't what kind of, you might have adult AD. Well,
Getting a
fuck
little
you.
too
I
close
know
to the-
that.
That was a long walk around to this.
Hey, get a dog. Jesus Christ. I'm so ADD. I saw it coming and didn't want to read it.
Wait a minute, I see where this is going. I've
Fuck
heard this
you.
all before.
And that's a problem too, is, I was like being raised, I was in that era where they were giving like pills to kids for ADD,
Yeah.
but my parents were presenting it kind of like, hey, you're fucked up. Let's try to fix you with these pills.
Nice.
Instead of like, take this, maybe you won't be such an asshole type of thing. So I never wanted, and so my parents wanted to prevent it from happening,
hmm
prevent me from getting on pills, because that was like a life sentence type of thing. But so I also never saw any psychiatrist for more than 3 months. I don't know what has, I dwell on that often, but let's moving on. Number 10. The people you choose to allow into your life will make a huge difference in how your life turns out, especially romantic relationships.
Yeah.
Choose wisely. I mean, absolutely. The people that you hitch your wagon to. And that was one of the pieces of advice that I gave to my son when he was thinking about going to college, and he got accepted to UPenn. And early decision, first child from Kensington High School ever to be accepted to the University of Pennsylvania, and graduated with a bachelor's degree. But when he was accepted, I said, dude, college is not about the degree. It's about making the connections with the other people that are getting degrees, because you're going to college with the elite. If you make friends with the elite will accept you.
I'd
Okay.
like to point out one thing.
What's that?
The only person that I've met that your son went to college with is Staff Writer Bill.
Staff Writer Bill is an incredibly successful man.
I didn't say that he wasn't. I just said
I'm just saying yeah. I mean, you know what? People shit on millennials. Every millennial I know is an exceptional human being.
Now,
I have never, my wife, dudes I work with, Staff Writer Bill, my kid.
I love Staff Writer Bill.
Who doesn't love Staff Writer Bill? I know one person that doesn't love Staff Writer Bill.
But I like to kick him from time to time because,
of course, that's what he's for, because he's such a jerk.
well, it's the impetus to get him on the show. Eventually, I kick him hard enough and he shows up.
He shows up. Yeah, well, he doesn't want to use his data on us because he's too cheap to pay for internet.
We got to get Bill on film moving again. I told you I have an
Yeah.
idea. Right?
We're working on that. So yeah, go meet Staff Writer Bill. That's number 10.
Find
you need to
yourself a
do.
Staff Writer Bill. Number 11. When I'm talking to a loved one, or really anyone I like, I always try to end the talk with a friendly, happy atmosphere. It will happen, and it happened a bunch of times now, that this might be the last time you speak to them. And as someone, they'll surprisingly die on you without any warning. And, it's a little consolation when the last words you've exchanged were nice, or else it will live rent-free in your head forever. The last moment was wasted for useless negativity that you can never undo. That's pretty reasonable. I mean,
I guess it really only bothers you. Once they're dead, they don't give a fuck.
true.
I mean,
Yeah, that it's not a selfless thing. I mean, that's totally a selfish thing, but
you're just you're being nice to be selfish. Well, you know what?
but it's
Yeah,
okay.
sometimes you gotta start a fight.
Don't think
too much about people think you. Well,
That's good advice, because I've spent a long time doing that, and the better you get at it, the more freeing it can be. I don't know if anybody's seen pictures of me, but I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks of me. My hair is the way that I want it. I look the way I want. I dress the way I want. say the things I want to say, and it's a good way to live.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, it's, you know what, dude? If you're not worried, now here's the thing, not worrying about what people think of you is also like, if you're a complete scumbag, you're going to get locked up.
Well,
You know what I mean? Like if you're like beating your kids so loud, the neighbors fucking hear you and shit. Yeah, I want to give a shout out real quick to SWYW podcast. I'll send me an email at Maddie at themediavirus.com, and I can make you a background if you'd like. If you have assets or whatever, I'll show you how to do it. I made it in Photoshop. He's asking about backgrounds.
Oh, wow.
And I can't like you can't like direct. I don't know. I just thought it was cool. I was retarded. What's the next one? Don't read out YouTube comments on a live stream. Oh, well, there it is, number 13. School isn't everything, but education, learning is. You don't have to go to college or any get a master's and please the professor. Just keep learning your way and increase your knowledge of things you care about. I mean, that's decent advice, and that's a way that I've lived for a long time. But you know what really helps is a piece of paper that says you can fucking do it.
Yeah, well, I'll agree with that.
I mean, if either of us had, I'll tell you what, I think if either of us had the piece of paper that said we could do communications, we wouldn't be doing this.
No,
we might not be doing something we like really enjoy, but we'd be working in the industry. And had I known that existed.
Yeah, well, I mean,
in high school,
existed, and I chose a different path. But honestly, I've been places where I've been told you need the piece of paper, and I stand up to people with the piece of paper. At the end of the day, when you're looking for work, it helps to have it.
It helps to have that piece of paper. Absolutely.
But when you're doing the work and you've already got
doesn't matter
job and you're out there and your elbows deep in it and you're going back and forth with the guy that's got 3 pieces of paper that hang behind his desk, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because right is right and the best idea wins.
Right.
So that's kind of where that is.
We're moving on. If you scroll down a little bit, Michael.
Don't focus too much on having the perfect body. This person has put weight on in the last year after years of wanting to be super skinny and is now the happiest they've ever been. Learn to appreciate your body and keep it healthy, and it doesn't matter if you have a bit of a belly or bigger thighs. That's probably reasonable advice. I mean,
travel earlier rather than later. It'll be easier and you'll be significantly freer. And I think that advice is like younger in life.
Well, not only that, but some people are, that hyper scheduled down to the minute where you leave at the last possible second and arrive at the last possible second and go in and do the thing, and then you run out and you get back on the plane, and that's very stressful. So I think this advice translates both in the big picture as far as that goes, as well as in the near term. All right, this one already starts off with nonsense.
I mean, dude, come on. That's not one piece of advice.
Well, and it starts with
Jesus Christ. Your brain isn't fully developed until you're 25. So what you like, who you are, and what you want can drastically change. And that's perfectly normal. 2, get into healthy habits. Nothing crazy. Just water, gentle exercise, and a varied diet. 3, you're young, free, and single. This may not be the case. So enjoy your youth and your freedom. Freedom sucks. Let me tell you something. Freedom isn't great.
It really can.
You know who's free? Stray dogs are free.
Yep.
Stray cats are free.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Freedom
is fighting for your life every fucking moment. All right. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Make them now and reflect on them. It's not bad to make mistakes. Bill has a motto, and Bill goes, fail quickly.
Yeah, it gives you more
Fail
time to
quick.
clean up.
Get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Don't fail over years.
Gives you fail fast. It gives you more time to clean up.
Yeah.
No is a full sentence. Learn to use it and say it.
That's right.
That's actually really good advice.
You know what? It's taken me a long time to learn to say no and mean it.
Yeah.
Because I've said no. My wife will ask me to do something. I'll say no, and I just get up and do it.
Yep.
But I'm just joking. Like I was like, no.
Yeah.
But you get into the practice, and like eventually you'll be able to say it and mean it to somebody who's no, I'm not doing that. And sometimes you have to go, no. And then you have to repeat yourself. And then you make sure, no, I'm not doing that. Or no, I said that the first time. It's okay if you don't know who you are yet. You get to decide what that looks like. What do you mean who you are? Get a job and do something.
Yeah, and I'm here to tell you at we're rounding the bend on 50, all three of us, and I can honestly say that I don't know who I'm going to be in 5 years. I just don't.
I don't know. I honestly don't know who I am now. I mean, I think that's a part of this journey is me trying to figure out, what my feelings are about things.
At the end of the day, just looking over this information that we just talked about.
Are we done with this?
Yeah, we'll
that's the last one
here in a second.
I want to piggyback on travel early. If I could give a piece of advice to anybody 18, you're getting into the workforce. Now, I know that having a driver's license now isn't as important for some reason to the younger generation. But if you are behind the wheel, on the travel early, give yourself time to get to work.
Yeah.
And don't stress over it. Don't drive fast. Just do the speed limit. Enjoy the moment. Those couple of minutes. My drive's 45 minutes, but however long your drive is, just enjoy it. Take a minute. Put on the Media Virus podcast. Listen to it. Maddie's pretty funny. Pete can barely read, but we make him do it. I mean, Mike carries the whole show. Oh.
I'm surprised Mike doesn't have like huge muscles on his shoulders like carrying us.
He does, absolutely.
But
so yeah, but
thinking back over this list, I mean, if I had to think at knowing what I know now to go back to 18.
Oh, that's a great one.
It's an interesting concept because one, you'd never keep clothes on me. I know that now. I would be Naked Mike.
Naked Mike.
Nobody would call me. I was always called by my last name. I never had a real nickname. Knowing what I know now, if I could go back, I would have a nickname. It would be Naked Mike. I would just always. I would be the guy who got naked because who gives a fuck.
I feel like now it's a big deal though.
What, being naked?
Well, back then it wasn't that big a deal.
No, but
now you couldn't do it.
No, I couldn't just start being Naked Mike today.
No. It's a shame. I think that would be great. You know what, man? Not for nothing, dude, but I say follow your fucking dreams, bro.
Be careful.
The Reverend and Professor.
Be careful what you wish for, Maddie. Next week he's going to show up on the Zoom naked.
The Reverend and Professor Naked Mike LaTorres.
Just a couple of black floating bars here and there,
That's incredible. All right, so Mike, bring up the next thing we were gonna go through. Just easier to pop it up on the screen.
Yeah, there was another interesting list here. It was the 10 surprisingly dangerous things that people don't realize are dangerous, but they should. I thought it was a rather mundane list. I wanted to kind of pick it apart after I saw it. So I think this is one of the things that you tossed into the mix.
Well, yeah, because I kind of wanted to remind, like, I don't think people really fathom how dangerous some of this shit is.
Okay, so we'll start from the list at 10.
Stress. Stress is the most dangerous thing that you can, like, and stress is hate causes stress. Anger, trying to get to work, like if you haven't left on time, if you're driving, all of these things cause stress, and they do destroy your body. I am living proof that stress destroys the body. So just remember that. That is, just piggybacking on the last discussion we had. What's the next one?
Wild animals.
Yeah,
yes.
I love it. I love it. But it's sad when a kid, but when it's a grown adult, it's like they get what they.
Yeah. Okay. So. Yeah,
I think because we were raised in an age of before everybody had a camera in their hand, or a video camera in their hand.
You think that? I mean,
like, we were raised with a healthy respect for wild animals. Now,
okay. I call bullshit.
What do you mean?
Bullshit. I've got a guy at my day job that works for me. We'll call him Cliff. So Cliff is probably 10 years older than us or so. And at least 3 or 4 times a year, I have to have a conversation with him about deer are in rut now. Don't challenge a buck. Because I have seen him, oh, look, a deer, and go and stand and look in the deer's direction and not move, which
for what?
In deer speak is,
come on, fucker.
Here I am, come and get me, I'm challenging you.
Come at me, bro.
And when they're in rut, it means they're trying to get laid. So they really want to fight because they think you're trying to get in between them and the doe. I've also seen him step to a wild turkey, and I've had to say, hey, Cliff, keep in mind, a wild turkey will mess you up because they ain't playing. Those talons, they will.
Oh, yeah, dude. Birds will fuck you up.
Well, turkeys are mean.
Every bird is mean. Every bird. If they're not fleeing from you, they're mean.
Yes.
An ostrich will kill you instantly. They just come at you.
Have you ever seen a pissed off bull turkey? And
I'm sure
they put all those feathers up and shit and start coming at you.
Dude,
it's bad, dude. It is bad.
Geese.
Yeah, geese.
Dude, I remember I used to take
goose is ignorant.
I used to take the kids on walks, right? Like in the woods and shit. And at this lake, there was like, it was a path. It was a nice place to go. And you come out to a clearing. Well, we come out to a clearing, and my young Ryan was maybe 3 or 4, like right around the diagnosis, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we come up on this gaggle of geese. I mean, a gaggle, like a full on. There had to be 100 of them,
right?
And he barrels towards them. He just takes off, and he is fast.
And all but one runs.
They all, dude, they all attacked him.
Oh,
they all teamed up and said,
dude,
let's get this fool.
Me and Maddie went in. I grabbed him. We are kicking fucking geese to get them, like hunting them like footballs. To get them out of like our way, because we're just running towards the car because this kid, the kid pissed off a bunch of geese, and geese will fuck you up.
What did he say to them, or what did they think he said to them that they were like, "Oh no, fuck it, we're not flying away this time. We're gonna get it."
I don't know.
Because have you ever run at geese? They just fly and they move.
No, They all came at him.
I
You know
said
what? I
something
used
like he probably said something like, "You're going to look really good on my Christmas dinner table," next to the stuffing and
I
potatoes.
I used to have this dog, Virginia, and there's a cemetery not far from the house. I would take her out
tactical pigeons.
in the back lot of the cemetery, and the geese would land back there. Well, I'd have her out there running in the back lot of the cemetery, and she'd find goose turds, and I'd have to stop her from eating. I said, "No, don't eat that, don't eat that." But like she could smell the geese, and she was all about whatever was leaving these little tasty bites for her. She wanted to find it, and like a flock of geese landed one day while we were there, and she looked up, and like the light bulb went off over her head. She's like, "Oh, oh, I get it. That's where these come from." And she took off. And she ran as hard and as fast as she could for about 500 feet. And she got within, 100 feet of this flock of geese that just blacked out the sky as they took off. Like,
Wow.
but like, none of those geese were like, "We're going to stay and fight." They were like,
No,
get
dude.
out of here."
I ask Matt, dude. I'll get Matty on, and he'll attest to it. I mean, like I kicked one dead in the chest. Your favorite reject chimed in with, "Can we just call geese tactical pigeons?" And I had seen a Canadian. There's a Canadian guy on TikTok that has a shirt with a goose on it and says "Angry Cobra Chicken." So I thought that's pretty funny too.
I like that.
Angry Cobra Chicken. Francis H is chiming in from the Netherlands. They are very tired.
How about it?
Don't mean to misgender anybody. Pardon me.
Good to see the Netherlands with us tonight.
Hail the Netherlands. Hello is what I meant to be. Using non-ladder objects to reach objects, dude. I have seen people get ass
Guilty.
over tea kettle.
Guilty.
Done it.
I will scale
Dude, sometimes
something
the
quick.
chair just breaks if you're using it the right way.
Yeah.
Things happen. And if it's not a ladder, and dude, pressure washers.
Oh yeah, you can pressure wash a toe right off.
Yeah.
Got to be
Dude.
careful.
No, I've seen it. It's nasty.
A lot of people don't realize that if you think this is a flip-flop job, you need to really
No, you want to wear steel-toed boots, preferably. I was told that when I did it,
I'd like
when I
to
did
add
that
one
work,
thing
I
to
was
that.
told I had to. What?
I said I'd like to add one thing to this list because I don't see it here. Is spinning blades. Anything with a spinning blade.
Yeah, spinning blades.
Crowds. Yeah. A mass of people will kill you.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not trying to.
A person can be smart, but people are stupid.
Yes. I almost got killed. I almost got crushed at the Korn concert. Back on the Life is Peachy tour, dude. They opened up with Blind. And I don't know if it's "Are you ready?" And like the whole place just went nuts. And at the Electric Factory, there are these pillars that come through. And the crowd just moved in such a way that it was just like I was the last one up against the pillar. And like a buddy of mine just reached in, grabbed me, and pulled me out. And because he was like behind the pillar, there was no mass of humanity. So yeah, I also got kicked in the head 16 times at that show. And that was a crowd plus a heavy metal band could kill you. It's happened, That was I forget what band that was. There was a couple bands. The Who killed people. Guns N' Roses, I think, killed people.
Yeah.
AC/DC. AC/DC kill anybody?
There's been a lot of them through the years.
Whitesnake killed a whole bunch of people. Remember that?
Yeah.
Setting that fire and they had fucking full stage pyrotechnics and a fucking dive
bar
bar
the size of a dining room. Yeah.
Jesus.
Water.
Yeah, water. You could drown. Nobody. Just in case anybody didn't know, you can
Only
can
takes
drown
about an
if
inch.
you. That's right. You can teaspoon. You can drown. So I remember when I was a little kid, one of the first times my parents ever took me to the pool, I was probably about 5. My mom kept telling me, she kept pointing. She's like, "Don't go down there. It's the deep end." And I kept arguing with her. I'm like, it's the same level. What are you talking about? It's the deep end. It's the same level as it is.
Just as like the hill or the incline and goes down
Right.
into
It
the
had
deep.
no.
I'll
Right.
be
I didn't.
fine, Ma. I'm just going down here. I'll be fine.
So then I had to wind up at the bottom of the pool to learn what she meant. I had to look by at the bottom of the deep end. I figured out what she meant by that's the deep end. You know what I mean? Somebody
With
jumped in.
7 feet of water over top of you.
Yeah. And then somebody jumped in, pulled me out, and then they explained it to me like really loudly.
You can't carry dumbbells to the deep end, dumbbell.
Yes, right. So yeah. What's the next one?
All right. The next one is it not
Goes
to be
along the
redundant,
ocean.
the ocean. It's not as redundant as you might think because wave action is something that people who really understand water don't necessarily understand wave action, and it's tough to learn. If you spend enough time around the coast, and I think some of us here are probably spoiled to it. We learn to see the riptides and stuff and stay away from them, but it's a real thing.
I gotta tell you this too.
How many by a show of hands, how many people here have been waffled, like completely, like just obliterated by a wave at the beach, at
Oh, dude.
Jersey Shore or whatever.
Here, I got a
And
story
to
for
the
you.
point of you come up and you're like, oh my God, I'm alive.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. There was a span of time of about, from 18 to 42. So from the age of 18 to the age of 42. So what's that? It's about 24 years,
Yeah.
give or take.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
I was in the ocean when I was about 18. Okay. Buff, 380-pound, muscular, kid going into the ocean and going breakers, no problem. Going through the waves. Haha, this is fun. Riding the waves, all that. When I was 42, when I was 42, I weighed 220 pounds and I'm in much different condition. And that ocean kicked my ass, like to the point where I was exhausted and I could only do my best to crawl.
Mhm.
Just so I had more surface area against the
Yeah.
it's the little bit of it's only a couple of inches, but it's pulling so hard.
Yeah.
And I was like, I could not believe that I didn't have the muscle strength to fight it.
No, you have to be very, very
Yeah.
in shape and very strong to stand up against the wave action of the ocean. And that's why it's such a dangerous thing. If you don't understand what you're getting into, you really just don't have any business there.
I don't know who decided to hit that subscribe button, but thank you very much.
Hey.
Hey, all right.
And if there's anybody else watching that wants to go ahead and hit that subscribe button, you can do that. You can also check us out on themediavirus.com. You can subscribe, follow, and share to all our fun stuff right from there. Go moving on to the next one. 3 pin setters in bowling alleys. I recently saw a video and it was on the Dodo. It was a TikTok video, but it was one of those produced company videos where they find the cream of the crop and share it out. And it was a kid who threw himself down the bowling alley, knocked over all the pins. The thing came down and that pin setter, and I just thought to myself, and they're doing it like this is a funny thing. And I'm thinking that kid might be dead.
Yeah.
Like those things will kill you.
Well over 1,000 pounds of mechanized death by steel and moving belts. Wow. That's a lot.
like a toddler running down the aisle, and the parents think it's funny. That's the example he gives. But I just saw that video where the kid ran down the thing. My dad tells story of him being a pin setter at a bowling alley. It was one of his first jobs.
Yeah, before they had the mechanized.
Yeah, he was like 13 or something like that.
Yeah.
But he was and that was the gig because
he used to hang out on the ledge up there, and then when hop down,
and sometimes the pins would come up. Sometimes the pin would come up, and it might hit you or whatever. Sometimes it hit you, sometimes it didn't. My dad tells stories. And he just tells them like it's this normal thing. Dude, any millennial now would be like suffering from PTSD.
Oh yeah, I
You know,
honestly, I know
not
guys in
millennial,
the
but
group,
you know what
and
I'm saying, Gen
love
Z.
love to talk to them if they're willing to sit and just chat. I
Yeah,
love to do that because they're so fun to talk to.
but you can't do it in a virtual setting with them.
No, it
When I try to FaceTime my dad, I talk to his ear the whole time
yeah, you have to
because
be
I'll FaceTime him on the on the phone. Well, I FaceTime him on my mom's phone.
right.
Right, my dad's got a dumb phone. He refuses to get a smartphone.
Okay.
He's got a push button flip dial phone. So my mom's got the smartphone. So when I video call my mom, my dad will take the phone, the video call, and then I just want to remind everybody that they will never, ever, ever turn the volume on the television down to talk to me.
No,
Okay.
well, they never had to do that before.
Right. And my mom, nobody can understand that not only is the television using your Wi-Fi, which is generating this call, but the sound coming from your television is coming over. So that's taking up even more Wi-Fi. And that's why I can't hear what you're saying to me. But if maybe they, for some reason, they don't have the TVs on.
You catch them at the right time.
And not only that, but when you call my mom, you turn on and what's blaring in the background is usually like a World War II documentary, right? Or just some kind of like interview with a Holocaust survivor. And I was like, Mom, she just lives in World War II. I don't understand it. I'm like, Mom, there's genocides you can watch live on TV now. Like there's, we could, you can watch the Ukraine invasion.
Hello,
basically.
Matthew. Matthew, is that you? Matty, is that you on the phone, Matthew? Matthew.
I can't hear. Oh, this phone. Oh, I swear to Christ, I hate this phone. This is the conversation I have with my mother. Matthew. I don't even know what that sound is. And then so my dad will put it up to his ear. So I talk to my dad's ear the whole time. But yeah, I love talking to old people. What were we talking about before I got on bitching about my parents?
We're going through the list of 10 things that people don't realize are dangerous that they should.
Oh yeah, that's where this. Of course, it went down that alley.
Seeing as how we're talking to old people, getting in and out of the shower.
Yo, it scares the shit out of me. It's one of my fears.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Matt. It scares me every time. You have to step out to grab something, like you left like a washcloth on the counter, or soap or something, and you're like, oh wait a minute, let me get out there, and you carefully scan the floor, where you're gonna step.
I have no fear getting in and out of the shower. My wife has systematically covered every tile that we've laid in the bathroom with a little rug. The doors don't open properly. You get stuck between them because they're rugs.
Where do I get said little rugs? Is it a fiber rug or is it a sticky thing?
No,
is it just like a thing that prevents you from slipping?
No, there are these stupid bathroom rugs, and you apparently have to have 17 of them in a bathroom that's this big.
Oh, are you talking about the shit that goes over the toilet?
Yeah, all over
the toilet seat, and they just collect your fecal molecules.
I got on my hands and knees and laid tile in this bathroom with this woman because she wanted a tile floor.
And then she proceeded to cover it all up with carpets, with little rugs.
I get a carpet here, a carpet there. You need something to step out of the shower on, but it's not a big bathroom. So when you put all of these rugs in, there's no tile left. It's all covered up with all these little rugs where you have to stand on them, and the doors don't work right, and it makes me crazy.
Oh wow, this is
remember growing up.
This turned into Mike's therapy session.
Mike, remember growing up? Did your parents ever have the like the little rubber sticky things on the floor of the shower.
Yes. Yeah.
You
we
know,
had
like
That's
the,
what I
like the
want.
little the little like star things.
flowers.
Then it evolved to an entire mat that you
Yeah.
had to put down on the floor of the tub.
With all those sticky things.
Yeah, with all those suction cups. So like when you wanted to clean the tub, you had to rip the thing up, and it was like 18,000 of them disconnecting from the tub.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what's the next one, Mike?
The number one thing on this list is the car headrest. And this intrigues me because I spend a lot of time in the car.
Yeah, like that's supposed to be there.
If you set the headrest too low, it can break your neck. Well, I couldn't set the car headrest too low if I tried.
Yeah. Well, I do have that problem. So
I'd have to sit on 2 phone books, and damn, where am I going to find a phone book these days?
You want to know what's like
yeah,
kinda
that
crazy about this?
I just want to explain this real quick. That headrest is not there so you can drive with your head back.
No.
That headrest is there to prevent your head from going and snapping, going forward, and then snapping
Off
at this point,
over
and,
the back of the seat.
off conceivably. And it's very important. The only time that headrest should come out of the back of your seat is if you are driven into a river somehow and your car is submerged and you need to break the glass. You can use the headrest to break the glass.
Yes.
If need be. Try rolling down the window before you submerge.
Not technically the headrest itself, but the little metal rods on it.
Yes, don't use the
That's-
padded part. Good point.
don't-
We have a lot of
Thanks,
stupid
Pete.
people.
Sorry,
out there.
let me help folks out. I don't want to see somebody like smashing their padded headrest against the window, going, "Why isn't it working?"
The middle of the headrest should be aligned with your ears. This is crucial that women do this because they often set it too low so that it doesn't cause them discomfort when their hair is tied in a ponytail.
I also just realized I'm gonna die if I ever drive my truck into a river or a lake or whatever, because my truck doesn't have headrests. The seats are one piece.
Get one of those hammers, man.
I think I probably have something somewhere in
Get
the
a
truck
rescue
that will.
hammer.
Yeah, good luck.
Right.
Good luck if a bridge collapses. You have something somewhere in there to do, like you know where it is.
I always have something of significant weight in the front seat, the back seat, somewhere in the vehicle to smash a window with, whatever. So I'm not worried. I'm not too terribly worried. But
Best advice if you ever find yourself submerging in a car, if you have if you need be to
Yep.
get out, let the car fill up. Take your let it submerge. Take a deep breath, and then you'll be able to open the door once the pressure inside the cabin is the same as the pressure outside. You'll be able to get that door open and get out. So, life-saving advice on the Media Virus podcast. That is the end of that. We're going to go into C block. Let's all right, so let's do the thing where I talk about, you can check us out on themediavirus.com. You can give us a call, 646-VIRUS-01. That's pretty much it. Podcasts, wherever you find podcasts, YouTube channel, and all that fun stuff. So we're breaking. You know what? Let's just keep going. We're just going to break audio. We got 4 people in the. We had 5 people a second ago. Somebody left.
I'm still here.
Bastards.
can I say this is like the most people we've had in the chat like ever?
We'll be
No,
back.
I know. It's been a good show.
Like where did they all come from? I want to know.
We'll be back.
Hey,
with
who
the C
cares? We
block
picked
right
up a
after this.
subscriber.
Awesome. Gooch just a little closer to myself.
All right, I think that our favorite reject is my cousin Mikey.
Well, thanks for checking us out, cousin Mikey. If you dig what you're saying and you like what's going on, tell somebody about it. Really appreciate it. Share us up, MediaVirus.com.
Good to see the Netherlands jumping in. Always good.
Yeah,
to
that's
see
fun. That's
William.
really cool. That's cool. And my buddy Johnny joined in for a little bit. That was fun too.
I'm interested to see what got us to the lowlands.
I mean,
I mean, good word of mouth, I'm sure, but
yeah.
the
I mean,
root.
we're just so famous at this point. It's 114 episodes, and it's my bedtime. I've been going through like this whole lifestyle change, man. It's going really well.
Having a
I'm,
bedtime, like doing
Yeah,
responsible grown up shit.
yeah, like I'm doing responsible grown up shit again, and they're laying off, dude. I'm happy with this mushroom thing I've got. Drinking tea, I'm kind of like digging in. I've got different teas for different times of day, dude. It's working out. I mean, for me, I'm not pressing it for anybody else. I'm just saying.
All right, so we're gonna come back in with adjust the tips. I usually introduce that right off the cuff, and I'll let you know when I'm ready to do that because I'll put a screen share up and be ready to run that as soon as you intro it.
All right, I'll take the intro.
And then I've already got that ready. Okay. So let me get this full screened.
And you started recording again.
Thank you for saying something. I'm not sure that I did. No, I didn't. That's a good thing you mentioned that because
I just didn't hear you say anything about it.
yeah, I have to wait for the one to close and
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
run
get
and
it.
use the little boys' room. They pumped me full of contrast at CT. I'll be right back.
All right. While Pete is taking a break real quick, let me explain some of what's going on. We should have our BBC correspondent Stanley McFadden. I got a little bug in my throat there. Stanley McFadden join us soon. Hopefully, we haven't actually heard from him, but he did provide us with a just tips. He does do an advice column or an advice segment here on the show called Just the Tip or Just the Tips. And we're going to be opening up our C block with that. And we have some more news shit we could talk about. And we have a couple TikToks I thought were fun. And that's going to be the end of the show after that. So if you guys are still here, I don't really know. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
everybody's still hanging out. Really do appreciate that.
SWYW podcast says that we're one hell of a podcast. I'm glad that they found us. We're glad as well.
And we'll definitely check you out. Maybe we'll do some kind of you guys maybe come on. We'll do I don't know how
cross promotion or something.
Yeah, I'm all about it, man.
I'm a little under the weather, so we're a little different this week than our normal show.
I tell you what, I like it.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Let's train Pete up. I mean, let's get it because I like you making shitty comments. I want you like jumping in with your voices and shit. I think that's where the strength is, man.
Okay.
I mean, I might have to take up the reading and just give it to you, or just we'll trade. Like once you're better, maybe we'll just start trading off.
Yeah, we can bounce it around.
Because I really liked the flow of the show today. I thought everything was going really well so far.
It also gives me a chance to jump off,
do some production. Yeah,
I get to look at the comment stream going by and react a little bit to that. So yeah, I mean it's been a interesting.
Even wounded, Mike, you do a great job. Maddie, you're just natural at this. I'm just a schlub.
But Pete, no, dude, don't.
No,
you're doing fantastic. When we get really big, we're gonna shit all over you. Like we're gonna blame everything on you. So we have to build up. We have to build up your self-esteem now, so that you understand that you are a valued member of the team. But you're eventually going to be the whipping, like you were at the last podcast.
That's great.
No, I know. That's what you love.
I'm on board.
I'm into it, but I want you to. We have to build that relationship. Yeah, everybody's hanging out. Everybody seems to enjoy. It's SWYW podcast. I think you guys are flowing well. I I really appreciate that, man. Thanks. Well, I'll take a minute, check out your stuff. I should write that down because I can never see these comments afterwards.
SWYW.
Yeah, what is SWY?
Well, we can figure it out later.
Somewhere.
All right, so I'm gonna get just the tips lined up, and we'll come back in hot on that. So share.
All right, we are back in the C block, and we have a video correspondence from our BBC correspondent, Stanley McFadden. This is just the tip. And
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the Media Virus Podcast. It is I, the one and only Big Daddy Dr. Dre, the Love Doctor, proud graduate from the U of P, coming at you with another episode of Just the Tips. Tonight's episode, GP. Ladies, if you are in possession of what we like to call GP, that gushy, that good shit, good pussy, then along with that responsibility comes some very important knowledge. First and foremost, you should know that if you got real good pussy, chances are we gonna nut real fast. Sorry, not sorry. It's your fault. That sweet meat between them cheeks, it's more than we can handle. It takes a long time to get used to a woman that's got good pussy. So, take it as a compliment. Take it as the compliment that it is. Take it for the positive message that it is. You got that good shit. We going up fast. Granted, it may not happen every time. There are times where we may be able to, we'll get back into round 2. But just so you know, ain't gonna last long when that shit's real good. So, don't get mad at them. Don't be making fun of them. Don't call them one pump champ. You got that good shit. And we like it. Sorry, not sorry. It's a good thing. I remember fondly a particular woman that I was seeing, and the first sexual encounter, the very first stroke, both of us came at the same time. One stroke. That's what happens when it's good. Yeah, there was a round 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. But that's not the point. The point is, she had that good shit. So that's what happens. Men, if you are with someone and she got that good shit, then you got some options. You may want to knock one out in the bathroom before you throw down. You may want to just be aware that you're going nut fast and start gearing up for round 2. Distract her with some oral. Place them earmuffs around your ears and go to town. Distract her nicely and get ready for round 2. Big Daddy, coming at you, Media Virus Podcast. Another episode of Just the Tips. Until next time, people, happy fucking.
And that was
our BBC correspondent, Stanley McFadden, Dr. Dre, professor at the U of P. So we did find out that SWYW podcast is Say What You Want. Podcast is the podcast where anything goes. Nothing is off limits. Thanks for checking us out, man. We really do appreciate that. Once we get off air, I guess we'll check out some of your stuff. You want to give us a call, 646-VIRUS-01. Feel free to call and chime in if you'd like. Do we have what do we got up next?
Well, we have Maddie's TikTok Nonsense Corner, also known as Laughing at White People, on the Media Virus podcast.
Well, what's you actually went and put together a slideshow for us of
I
all
did.
of the TikToks that I decided that were funny enough to make it. How many were there? Do you remember?
I think there were four or so. I threw a couple. I peppered a few in of my own so that we could share.
Oh shit! When were we supposed to? Who died?
Oh, that's right. There was a death that was reported just before we came to
Jeff Beck,
Jeff Beck. That's right.
legendary guitar player. Jeff Beck died, 78 years old.
Yeah, and unexpectedly too.
I mean, somewhere around 75, you should start expecting.
right, but he was in pretty good health and doing just fine. But according to his family, just the other day he contracted bacterial meningitis.
Oh shit!
And
Thanks.
like boom, gone. It's crazy. It just, I mean, like I was figuring 78. He was probably sick. They knew it was coming, but it said Beck died on Tuesday after suddenly contracting bacterial meningitis. The representative confirmed. His family has asked for privacy while they process this tremendous loss.
How does one contract bacterial meningitis?
Um,
How does that?
your brain gets infected with bacteria. It's
Yeah, that's you get bacteria through an infection or whatever, and it makes its way up into your brainstem, and you die.
Wow. Jesus.
ugh, yeah, it's not a pretty way to go either.
What was his big hit? I
Um,
can't think of it offhand.
Well, there was a
I
number
didn't
of
do any
things.
research.
There was
What?
there was a number of things. He played with the Yardbirds,
Oh, that's right.
and then with the Jeff Beck group after that. A lot of people don't realize it. He actually wrote Superstition.
Stevie Wonder?
Yeah, he
Don't
wrote.
let superstition.
Yeah. He wrote Superstition, and Stevie released it a month before he did. So technically, Stevie's is a cover because it was Jeff's song first. But his fingers and thumbs were famously insured for £7 million at one point, just because of his guitar playing abilities.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, the guy was really a spectacular performer. The time he spent with the Yardbirds was because the Yardbirds had actually approached Jimmy Page to be their guitarist, and he was like, "No, I got other shit going on, but why don't you talk to Jeff Beck?" And history was made.
Well, I mean, and you know, it's a good thing Jimmy Page decided to do what he did. You know?
Here he is playing with Mick Jagger at some point.
Oh, good. I was hoping. I was like, oh, you know what we didn't pick up? We didn't pick up a YouTube violation yet. Here we go.
I try not to throw enough in that they really catch on.
Oh no, they caught whatever we did last week. They caught it. Like, I don't know. We're like banned in certain countries. I don't understand.
You know.
Yeah. Did anybody see who else passed away over the weekend?
No, who else passed away?
Adam Rich. 8 is enough.
Oh, really?
The little squirt, on there.
Yeah, no kidding.
54 years old, died of a heart attack.
Ugh.
Huh.
I guess it's that time we got to start watching.
Yeah, but you know what? Yeah, I think Groucho Marx died 3 days before Elvis did. Yeah,
Right.
According to the Devil's Rejects, Groucho Marx died 3 days before Elvis did, and Elvis overshadowed the news. Apparently,
Yeah.
Jeff Beck was a little bit more famous than Adam Rich.
Jeff did a fair amount of work with Rod Stewart, and there's a lot of really impressive names from the rock and roll community saying that how much they're going to miss him and have enjoyed working with him through the years. So it's
It's
really
sad. I mean, yeah, no, he was
Especially
a
since the
talented
guy-
musician.
like I said, since the guy really, even at 78, hadn't really let on that he was on his
He
way
was
out.
he was one of those dudes. He wrote more songs than he was known for.
Yes, yeah. No,
He's like the fucking Bee Gees. You know how many songs the Bee Gees actually fucking
Yeah.
wrote? Just because disco died the way it did, the Bee Gees couldn't. They couldn't
there's,
release albums. They still wrote for other people.
yeah, and there's a lot of artists like that. I mean,
Yeah.
to really dig into everything that Prince was responsible for is kind of a huge mind fuck.
Prince used to be my guilty pleasure, but now it's more out in the open.
I think they're
Raspberry-
still pulling stuff out of his vault, aren't they? Like that he had. That he
It's like
never
Tupac
released.
keeps releasing. Like I'm sure we're about due for another Tupac album. You know what I mean?
Probably getting there.
It doesn't work with rock stars though. That's
Not the
the
same.
no, yeah. When they released that Nirvana tune, that was
Yeah,
it wasn't as.
it
I mean, it's a
didn't get the
it's-
reception that you.
it's half a riff and him whining. I mean, looking back, I mean, I'm still like affected by the Cobain's death. Like it hurt me a lot. But looking back, he's kind of a whiny prick.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everybody's just a whiny prick. Like, everybody's just complaining about shit. And I don't know. I'm just
Hey,
saying.
It was the time. I mean, that
No,
music,
don't get me wrong. I still
that
listen
music's
to
of a time. So,
yeah, I still listen to it.
oh yeah,
You know,
because it takes you back. It gives you that mind.
Yeah,
And
right.
that's what music's about. It's about remembering that time. So,
that's right. And if we could play some music, we play it for you right now on Media Virus Podcast. Or not.
But if we do, YouTube will or somebody will sue us or
Yeah, well,
want some licensing fees or something.
we'll get a cease and desist order. So instead, we're going to go to TikTok's nonsense. That's right. We're going to show you Maddie's TikTok nonsense corner.
which I'm sure is somehow copyright violations because there are no. Dude, the TikTok is the Wild West with like music
Yep.
and like it's. So what's up? I forgot what I put. So
All right. So I will guide us through then.
all right.
I also did some happy little drawings on the sides of some of these.
Oh, look,
Okay.
those look like happy little treetops.
All right. So
So
oh yeah.
somehow this got muted, but
Here we go.
A grown adult needs a standout dinner party question.
I got a question. Do you think the farts push out the poops or the poops push out the farts?
Deep thoughts.
All right. So this is an audio presentation. So it's like when she finishes that sentence, the face that she makes is like she just dazzled everybody, and she sells it so well. And
Yeah.
that's what I enjoyed about. That's what I enjoyed about that particular TikTok is her acting. I really did like that one. What's next?
I and not for nothing, but I could totally see Mrs. Rockdef pulling that off.
Oh yeah, Ricky Rockdef could.
She could throw that one down, and this is one of the ones I threw in.
Okay.
This is a guy that I follow on TikTok. I really like him.
All right. Does he just start every song and scream?
Yes.
Okay, was there? Did he make one where he was like wearing a mask over his eyes and was
Yeah,
started?
he was doing like
Okay,
Elton John
Yeah,
glasses for a while. Yeah.
yeah, okay, that's
Yep.
yeah. He's
But if you're watching this one, his dad pokes into the frame as he starts in the
Yeah.
background. Guy never moves. He doesn't flinch. He doesn't jump. He just stands there.
seriously.
And now we're all going to hate the British.
Well, we should anyway. Sorry.
Disrespecting our tea was one thing, but an even nastier slap in the tits was to come. In 1776, the leaders of the 13 colonies decided that they didn't want to be called British anymore, but Americans. This straight white supergroup known as the Founding Fathers drafted the most famous breakup text in history, the Declaration of Independence. All the men you see here became idols if you're American. Otherwise, they're just not all that.
If you're American, which I am, they are. So let's hate the British. Fuck them.
I do, however, like her use of slapping the tits.
Slapping the tits was to come. No, I love her. She's got some kind of, that's a television show. So what is this?
Well, I decided to use this opportunity to do some advertising. This is one of the TikToks that you sent.
Okay.
From the Mark K show.
Joe Biden didn't attend the funeral of Pope Benedict because Joe Biden was expressly told not to attend the funeral of Pope Benedict by Pope Benedict. Pope Benedict, who died last Saturday at the age of 95, according to Newsmax, and the Vatican requested that President Joe Biden not attend Benedict's funeral. Benedict made the request prior to his death. Now, you got to really be doing something wrong in your religion. If before the person dies, they're on their deathbed, former Pope, this guy is sitting there mulling over his life and legacy, about to meet his maker, and he pulls somebody aside and says, "Before I go, Biden, I don't want him anywhere near my funeral." And then he passes on to the great unknown.
It was probably more like, fuck Joe Biden.
And
can you,
not for nothing, but I think as far as American politics goes, Joe Biden's probably the most prolific Catholic in the past 30 years.
yeah, but I think it's his stance on like what he stands for on abortion is.
Well, yeah, no, I get that. It's just I think it's funny that you take the most prolific Catholic of the last 30 years. Like, no, tell him to go away.
Yeah, right. Oh, you got another. You can scan that now.
Yeah, you can scan this.
Look at you figuring shit out. Did I send this over?
No, this is one of mine.
Okay.
I was kind of hoping Stan would have joined us by now, but we'll give this one a shot.
(911)
What's your emergency?
Yeah, somebody's just broke into my house.
Okay, we'll get a unit over shortly.
Okay, please hurry.
Real quick, can you verify your race for us?
I'm black. No, I'm sorry. I'm white. I'm full white.
Okay, can you answer a few questions just to confirm?
Okay.
Okay, how do you feel about Black Lives Matter?
All lives matter.
Nice. Did OJ do it?
Yeah, he did it.
Okay, who's the best boxer in the United States?
Jake Paul.
King of R&B.
Justin Bieber.
Okay, last question. Say ask.
X. Oh, fuck.
I thought you would enjoy that, Matt, since it was a long.
I do enjoy it, but it's like, without Stanley here, we just seem like a pack of racists.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's a long walk around.
Right. Yeah.
I like the long walks.
We're not ending on that one, all right? That's not what we're finishing up, is it?
911.
What's your emergency?
Yeah, somebody.
Oh, we're gonna play it again. Okay, good.
No, I do have another one.
Oh, another. What is this?
The puppets. I love the puppets.
May the only tears you shed all 2023 come from gagging on dingling. Amen.
That's a nice thought.
What a beautiful sentiment.
That is a good sentiment. I like that.
I mean, if that's the only tears you had to shed,
right?
Those would be the ones you want.
May the only tears you shed all 2023 come from gagging on dingling. Amen.
Yep.
Where else? I think that's it, guys.
That's all I've got.
We're done. All right. So you can check us out at themediavirus.com. You can like and subscribe. You can like this video. You can subscribe, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. That's important because then, people, you want to know when people post stuff, people go live and stuff. If you want to know that stuff, hit the notification bell. Just do it all. It's personalized notification. You want to know everything that comes out of our ass. You want to know it. That's the point. You can always give us a call at 616-446-VIRUS01. Leave us a message. If you want to come on the show, shoot us an email at Maddie@themediavirus.com. If you want to shoot Mike an email, you can send an email to the show at media.virus.hole@gmail.com. If you want to send Pete an email, go get fucked, because we don't have an email address for him yet.
We do too.
We do?
It's Grease Monkey.
Oh, that's right. We set up. He has Grease Monkey Pete.
Let me double check what it is. I'm pretty sure it's Grease Monkey. Might be Grease Monkey Pete.
So I think it's Grease Monkey is spelled as you see it at themediavirus.com. You got a handle on themediavirus.com?
Waiting for it to load up.
Oh, fun.
And let's see.
Isn't yours PML?
Yes, you can reach me at PML.
At themediavirus.com.
At themediavirus.com.
So there you go. Fun shit. Next week, it'll be the three of us again, and maybe we'll have somebody else. We don't know.
Big Daddy comes back. Big Daddy at themediavirus.com if you want to reach Big Daddy. Maddie at themediavirus.com for Matt. I gave Pete at themediavirus.com. So if you want to reach the Grease Monkey, it's Pete.
Oh, that's easier to spell.
Yeah.
Pete.
P-E-T-E.
It's two E's, a T, and a P.
Yeah.
But not in that order.
You have to put them in the right order.
Don't spell TP or to pay. And don't spell Pete, P-E-E-T.
Yeah, that's that nasty stuff.
Right. All right.
All right.
We're all set?
I think we're all set.
All right, guys. Listen, anybody still hanging out, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for being in the chat. Thanks for chiming in. We really do appreciate it. Well, hopefully we'll see you next week. I hope you like what you saw.
Yeah. Join us again.
But yeah, best we can do.
It's our pleasure having you. On behalf of Pete and our fearless leader, Maddie, I'm Professor Mike Latoris, and this has been the Media Virus Podcast.
Damn it, I didn't think of that.